Hello everyone and welcome back to another Let's Play, or not Let's Play video, Let's Talk video. I am Jade and today we are going to be talking about something that I am a little bit too passionate about. Something that I probably spend way too many hours watching and something that I do really, truly enjoy. That is, of course, the Life series. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Life series is or never watched it, essentially it was started by a creator named Grian. There we go. I was going to go launch. Created this concept of the Life series. Essentially what happens is every player has 3 lives. They initially start off as green, representing 3 lives. Then they get to there we go. Then they turn yellow after they die once. I did. Okay. No. So essentially how it works, we're just gonna claim here. Sorry guys. Alright, so how it works is after that point, once they are yellow, they turn red after they die a second time. Now there are many seasons to this series, so let's get started and do a deep dive into them. First of all, so the very first series, the experimental series, if that's what they refer to it as, was Third Life. Essentially, this game, the concept, the 3 lives, and then you are out. This series was really fun, and it was really enjoyable to watch, just because it really set up the foundations for the rest of the series. If you guys are starting out with the Life series, highly recommend to begin with that one, just because it's a great place to start off. After that was Third Life. After Third Life came Last Life. Now I'm going to move through Third Life quite quickly. And that is just because it's fairly simple to explain. Last Life now had some different twists. Last Life involved the players getting assigned a random number of lives. The maximum was 6, some players got 6, some players got 5, up all the way down to 2. Players then had to navigate the world having that knowledge, but also with the introduction of a repeated character, the Boogeyman, or Boogeyman. How the Boogeyman worked was characters were assigned the role of Boogeyman, a random number. It wasn't the same every time. There could be multiple, there could be 1, irrespective. Now, you can only kill when you are a red name. You are only allowed to be hostile when you're red. However, the Boogeyman allowed another player, who was not red, to kill anyone they wanted, through any means necessary. For content purposes, they did decide that non-PvP was best. Didn't mean you couldn't, but it meant, it's advised not to. Last Life, I didn't really watch all that much. I watched from Lizzie's perspective, and unfortunately she left the series quite early, but it was still a very, very entertaining watch, and I highly recommend it, in my opinion. Next, after Last Life, was Double Life. Now, Double Life had one of the best twists, in my opinion. What happened in Double Life was the characters were soulbound. That meant essentially... Oh, let's take this out. Essentially what that meant was if one player takes damage, their soulbound member would take the same amount of damage. And if one of them died, they would both die. This led to one of the best collaborations and best alliances, in my opinion, as Joel and Etho got to team up together. I think that one was such a fun one, partially because of that team up and, you know, Smallish Beans, aka Joel, is a childhood creator that I used to watch when I was a little kid. And he sort of led me to other creators that I really enjoy now, like Gemini Tay, Pearlescent Moon, MC Schizoman, or Mix Schizoman, I don't know how you say it really, Impulse SB, S Major, Solidarity Gaming, all of the, pretty much the whole squad, honestly. Grian. Yeah. No, but it's a really fun series, and I do highly recommend it for anyone who's wants a good watch. That was Double Life. Nothing super major happened on Double Life, other than a really cool win, and the introduction of 5 AM Pearl. If you didn't know, I think they record quite late, so therefore in Pearl's time, which is AEST, she had to get up at like 5 AM to record. Yeah. Alright. What is next? Last Life, Double Life, Limited Life. Okay, nice. Limited Life was not an ordinary series in any matter. Sorry, guys. Last Life. Oh, this again. Honestly, would have been better to die. Okay. Last Life was a pretty cool series. Sure. Limited Life was a pretty cool series because you only had 24 hours. You had a limited life. You could die as much as you wanted. However, each death would cost you anywhere, I think, from 30 minutes to an hour. I forget which one. But you could regain time by killing another player, and you would gain the same amount of days they lost. It led to some pretty cool battles and some people being a lot more careless, I think, than they normally would in a typical life series. This one, Limited Life, did have a really cool song made by a creator named Evil Anvil. His songs, honestly, are so good. He just made one about Hermitcraft 10 recently. Yeah, no, highly recommend it. I would 100% watch it. I'm going to link it in the description below, so you guys can check it out. But yeah, no, that was one of my favorite songs that he's made of the whole Life series. Moving on, number 5 was Secret Life. Now, Secret Life was a pretty pivotal point for the Life series fans. I'm going to quote Green here and say, and talk about the fact that this was made for the creators. This was made for the players to enjoy themselves more than just a content-focused thing. Secret Life really changed it. So the niche in Secret Life was that there was a secret keeper. There was this entity that would assign you a task. The task could be as crazy or as simple. It could be social, or it could be something physical that they had to do. In my opinion, Secret Life was one of the best ones, and it had another really great mashup. If you guys want to watch their point of views, I recommend Jem and the Scots. Impulse SV's real name is actually Scott, and he paired with S Major, whose name is Scott, and Gemini Tay. It led for a pretty fun collab and just a really fun vibe between all of them. Okay, I was gonna say, did we crash or something? No, it was just a little bit behind. Alright, so yeah, Secret Life was really fun. How Secret Life worked as well was, instead of being a typical life series where you just have your 3 lives and just normal hearts and stuff that regen, you had 30 hearts, you had a total of 60 health points, but you had no regeneration. The only way you could regenerate hearts was through doing your task. So, at the end of the day, once you had completed your task, you would go to the Secret Keeper, and you'll click a button that says, yes, I completed it, no, I haven't completed it, or re-roll. If you completed your task and you did it all well, you would get either the hearts that you lost, or you would get a prize. This prize was pretty overpowered. You got potions and diamonds, netherite, iron, that sort of stuff. That's pretty massively OP stuff. But if your task you didn't think you were able to complete it, you had the choice of either admitting failure right then and there, or you could roll for a hard task. Now, as it mentions in the title, these were hard. They were very difficult, doable, but difficult. Well, in most cases. And it meant that you doubled the amount of hearts you would get. You would get 20 hearts instead. However, there was a bit of a trade-off. Instead of just losing no hearts at the end of the day, I think you lost like 20 as well or something. You lost a significant amount of hearts, I believe. Let's go around. Why didn't you die? This is the right sword. Loading 2. Yeah. Yeah, so you'll lose more hearts, but you could choose to take the risk. What was next? Next after Secret Life was Wildlife. Wildlife is my favourite life series at the moment. Essentially what happened in Wildlife was there was a wild card. Something weird was added to the game, and it meant that anything could happen, really. There were so many things that happened, ranging from simple stuff like changes in size to a flesh-eating snail. And it was loads of fun. This one was one of the series where they had extra lives. So Green had given them all 6 lives instead of the typical 3. In an interview with Imp and Skiz, he said this was because he wanted sort of 3 lives to die from the wild cards, but then you also got 3 lives to die from players and player attacks. Without spoiling anything, let's just say that I really enjoyed this season because of the winner. Who won? I think that winner deserved it really well, and I genuinely thought it was a very fun series, with some of the twists being really cool. Really cool. Really cool is not a word, but you know. Moving on from that. Wildlife also brought about, I think this is my favorite alliance that have happened up until this point, which was the family, Jem and Joel. It was such a great team together, because you had 2 of the most overpowered PvPers and 2 really good builders. Now, moving on to present day. As of right now, this episode is being filmed in between episode 7 and episode 8 of Past Life. Past Life, like all the other life series, had the same principle, 3 lives. Actually, no, this one has 6 lives. This had 6 lives, but you died. Oh my gosh, that scared me. But it was called Past Life because you went back to the past. Now, if you want to go back into some Minecraft YouTube lore, there was a SMP called the Evo SMP, or which Evo short for evolution. Essentially, they went way back to beta Minecraft. They went all the way back, trying to re-explore and go through the evolution of Minecraft starting from beta. Each episode, or every so often, I never watched Evo, I'm just saying what I know. They would go back and bring the version forward a bit. It turned into a really cool thing where now there's a full symbol and there's a lot of lore behind it, but I'm not going to go into that too much. Yay! This again. Let's try to... Yes. Oh my gosh. It wouldn't have been hard to go back and get my stuff, but I do have keep inventory on. And if that breaks, then everything breaks. Man, okay. So essentially, Past Life is that. They started in beta, I think it was like, I don't know. They started in beta Minecraft and moved forward. Now, we're nearly at full normal Minecraft. I really like this principle. I know, guys, there's a lot of hate going around about the current live series because of certain characters' actions and stuff like that. Look, I do want to remind everyone, and I do want to state this. These are a group of adults. This is a group of grown people who play Minecraft for a living. They are all friends as well. They aren't hurting their friendship by killing another person. It's part of what the life series. PvP, killing others in this series is allowed. It's how the series progresses. If it didn't happen, we would be stuck on 3 lives until everyone died to creepers. Rip Tango. Can I just say, the hate is unnecessary. We do not have to hate certain players for the actions they do to others. This is all a light-hearted thing. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to have to call it here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!